Jai Jinendra, everyone. On behalf of Jaina, I would like to welcome you all on the day 6th of the Digambar Paryushan or Das Laksana and day 7 for India. So, as you know, we do have our speaker with us, Mr. Manish Modi. So, we let you know so many things about Manish Bhai that how he's managing everything. But couple of things I would like to highlight today that Manish Bhai has did a fantastic job to translate the books. I do have a list of so many books. I may not able to speak the name because of like she did Jain books, then Jain hymns, modern Jain works, Hindu hymns, Buddhism, Buddhist hymns, and everything. And he did a fantastic job to convert a Prakrit to Hindi and English. So welcome Manish Bhai, and please let us know about universal law today. We can move forward on your next topics. And yes, your screen sharing has been stopped somehow, so you have to share the screen again. I'm so sorry. Yes, Manish bhai.
Thank you. Jai Jagan. Namo Aryantaram, Namo Siddharam, Namo Airiyaram, Namo Ivachayam, Namo Nove Sapasavina. Yeso Panch Namo Yare, Sabha Pava Fapanasme, Mangalaram Chasatese, Padman Purunam. Khamini Sabba Jive, Sabve Jiva Kamantulu, Mittile Sabba Duesu, Veram Bacham Nakino. Mangalam Bhagavan Viro, Mangalam Gautama Prabhu, Mangalam Kundu Kundadyo, Jaina Dharmostu Mangalam, Arihanta Mangalam Nityam, Siddha Jagati Mangalam, Mangalam Sadhave Sarve, Jaina Dharmostu Mangalam, Sarva Mangal Mangalyam, Sarva Kalyan Karakam, Pradhanam Sarva Dharmanam, Jainam Jaitu Shasanam, Jainam Jaitu Shasanam. Jainam Jaitu Shasanam. Om Hrim Shri Mahaviraya. Namo Janam. I'll start with a beautiful quote from the Agamas. As you know, in the Agamas, Bhagwan Mahavir keeps beseeching Gautam Gandhar. Samayam Goyam Mapamayo. Samayam Goyam Mapamayo. Samayam Goyam Mapamayo. What is he saying? He says, Gautam Gandhar, my dear beloved Gautam Gandhar, time is passing. Don't do praman. Don't indulge in praman. Time is indeed precious. It's passing. 6 days of preparation have gone. Another 4 remain. That's it. This beautiful quote from the Uttradhyan Sutra, chapter 10, verse 17. Ladhunvi uttamam swim saddhana punara vidullaha michattam nisevaya jag Ladhunvi uttamam swim saddhana punara vidullaha michatta nisevaya jani samayam goyamam mapamayai samayam goyamam mapamayai. Even after attaining the greatest of religions, Jainism, faith in it is rare. It is difficult to find faith in the religion. Most people follow Mithyatva, live in Mithyatva. But oh Gautam, waste not a single moment in Mithyatva. Because time is precious and time is passing. Let me give you the example of a boy who was sitting in utter darkness beside a lake. He had to spend the entire night there. There was no telephone, there was no torch with him, there was no battery, nothing. He had nothing, he had no means of spending the time. So what did he do? There's a pile of stones. beside him. Or he was sitting beside a pile of stones. So what did he do to pass the time? Young kid, 15, 16 years old. He picks up a stone, chucks it into the water, sees the ripples. Then he picks up another stone, chucks it into the water, sees the ripples, and so on. He does that all night long. In the morning, he sees that what he thought were worthless pebbles that he kept chucking into the water were actually the most precious diamonds. And he had thrown them all away. This is how precious time is. We don't use this time to attain dharma. We are the greatest losers. No one else but us. And there's no one else to blame but us. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to make sure we don't waste a single moment, because we don't know when we will next attain the human world. Therefore, we have to be very, very careful. Please close the door. Most people don't even search for the truth in life. They only look for someone to agree with them. There is no search for truth. They're only looking for people to agree with them. That's all. And when there is no quest for the truth, how will you attain the truth? And when there is no truth, then what do you have? Nothing. All that you earn in this world, all the worldly achievements that you may have amount to nothing. Because once you die, you leave them here and you go. You're only carrying your three types of body. The karmic body. You're carrying your karmas with you, which means the karmas you indulged in are the only things you're going to carry with you. So seek the truth. If not this life, then when? Don't ever apologize for seeking the truth. The truth is the most precious thing you can do for yourself and with yourself. If you don't find that truth, your entire lifespan on earth is wasted. Imagine you're so incredibly fortunate. You're born as a human being. You're born on earth. And if you still lose time, you waste this time, then what have you gained? Exactly nothing. We spend our entire lives trying to control factors which are external, which we cannot control. How can you control natural phenomena? How can you control the consequences of karma? You cannot. What you can control is your own response. Therefore, don't try to calm the storm. Don't try to control the storm. Calm yourself. The storm will pass. Don't calm the storm. Calm yourself. The storm shall pass. All of us are capable of attaining liberation because we have a soul. Each soul can be a Bhavyatma. Each soul can attain liberation. The only limits we have to our ability to attain liberation are the limits we set for ourselves, because there are no limits. Jainism is a religion of the self-reliant. Jainism says that we can all become Bhagwan. All of us can become Bhagwan. It's good to be a Bhakt now, but it's the beginning of the process. A process that culminates in becoming Bhagwan ourselves. So always trust the teachings of the Tirthankars. They are messages from the Shuddha Atma, from the Omniscient One. And they connect with your own Shuddha Atma, with your own inner God. Your inner God is capable of becoming a God. Don't ever forget that. You're always only one decision away from attaining self-realization. Just walk the paths and believe in yourself. Self-realization is for everyone. It's for everyone. All of us can attain it. And self-realization does not mean you have to give up your home and give up your family and your wealth and all of this. It just means you rise above worldly desires. That's all. You don't stop eating, stop drinking, stop living in your home. You do all of that, but you don't belong to it. Nothing belongs to you except your soul. Not even your body belongs to you. So you must not belong to anything. We are here in this country, on this earth, but we do not belong to it. We are independent souls. In the infinite span of birth and rebirth, we've been everywhere. Anantakal. Anantakal is impossible to even describe that length of time. We have been born in every corner, every spatial point of the universe. And if we let this birth go, we shall continue to be reborn in every spatial point of the universe. Ardha Pudgal Paravartan Kal. Pudgal Paravartan Kal. And where does it get you? Precisely nowhere. Because your default setting is Nigod. You shall go back to Nigod and live a life of misery. Extreme, intense, undescribable misery. Misery of every moment, living and dying 18 times within the fraction of a second. If you don't want that to happen, then Samyak Darshan is your best friend. It is your only friend. I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying give up your life, give up your family. I'm also a married man. I have life, I have a wife, I have a son. I love them dearly. I have a business I'm very proud of. I work very hard and make an honest living. But that's not me. It's merely this particular role that I'm playing. I am a soul. That's all I am. I am a soul, and this body has been given to me as a result of my karmas. It's good to take care of your body, but I'm not this body. This body is just a role that I have been given. And it's a role that I have hankered after in the past. It's a law of attraction. What you seek, what you want, what you desire, you will get. So be careful what you seek. We have been going through the universal laws. They're extremely, extremely important. I cannot emphasize enough the importance of the universal law. It is a universal law applicable to all living beings in the universe. It has been compiled by C.A. Jayeshbhai Sheth, but these are the teachings of the Tirthankars. Jayeshbhai has merely compiled it. They have been given to us by the Tirthankars. It's their divine teaching. I'll run through the universal law very quickly because it is immensely important to read them, study them every day. In the beginning, study them at least 10 times a day, because you have to imbibe them. You have to make this as part of a thought process. Without making this your thought process, you will never be able to intuitively think of these things, because in all our lives, one thing we have learned, and which is why we keep manifesting again and again, is you give back what you get, right? So someone gives you one slap, you give him two slaps. Someone gives you one punch, you give him two punches, right? That's been our intuitive thinking. That's why we are rotting in this world. Bhamanti tatheva tatheva. Wandering again and again in samsara, full of sorrow, unhappiness, misery. So when we have to change our thinking, we have to keep reading this again and again, reflecting on it, till this becomes part of our Sahaja Yoga, where this becomes spontaneous. So we will have to do this. Richard Brandler wrote a book on neuro-linguistic programming. All I'm saying is keep reading this, keep studying this. And when you contemplate and keep on reflecting on it, it will become your instinctive, intuitive reaction. I was exposed to this 4 or 5 years ago. My wife Nirupama and I, Jayesh Bhai came and met us, and we learned this from him. And it takes time. It takes Gujarati mein kehte na bhog aapko pade chhe. You have to put in the effort. But in the past 4 or 5 years, it's changed our lives, this universal law. So my wife, my son, and I, and thousands of other people in India and across the world are realizing this universal law, are living these tenets and attaining the happiness that all of us seek. So this is the path all of us have to walk on this path. And this is very much the teachings of the Tirthankars. There's nothing beyond that. There is no sect, there is no cult, there's no tradition. It's merely the teachings of the Tirthankars. That's all, nothing else. So the universal law applicable to all, compiled by C.A. Jayasheth. There's a website you could refer to, www.jayasheth.com. Universal law. I receive what I give, what I wish for others comes back to me. I am the soul. This body is a role that I have been given. Generally, we get the role we had hankered after. Whatever is happening to me is a mirror of my past. It is a reflection of my past deeds. What I have not done or not caused or allowed to be done through acts of mind, speech, and body shall never happen to me. Therefore, no injustice is done to me either at present or in the past or in the future. By realizing this, I remain firmly in the no complaint zone. Whatever has caused me pain is a result of my own past actions. It has nothing to do with others. So there is no question of blaming others. Hence, the why me question does not arise. I create good luck by doing punya. I create bad luck by committing pap, like indulging in the 7 vices. That is gambling, consuming alcohol, consuming non-vegetarian food, visiting prostitutes, stealing, hunting, and indulging in adultery or infidelity. Consuming tobacco or alcohol in any form, eating after sunset, eating root vegetables, pickles, honey, figs, butter, etc. Bear in mind, punya equals to gain, pap equals to pain. Reflect on this. I shall learn to gain from pain. I am here to give unconditionally without any expectations. By giving, I am either repaying my old debts or creating new deposits. I benefit in both cases. I have to perform my duty to the best of my ability without expecting others to do their best. All of us have to fulfill our duty towards family, friends, colleagues, society, country, and humanity. I have to be strict with myself and lenient with others. Whatever happens, happens for good. Believing this brings super positivity. I have to deal with people in 4 ways, and 4 ways only. There's no scope for hatred. 1, Maitri, universal friendship. It shall protect my happiness by not creating enmity with others. Wanting the welfare of others shall ensure my own welfare. To promote admiration, delight, I shall imbibe others' virtues by admiring them. 3, Karuna, compassion. compassion for sinners because they are unaware of the universal law. 4. Madhyasthya, indifference or no response. When someone hurts me, I shall stay calm, keep quiet, and contemplate upon thank you, welcome inside my heart. This shall protect my happiness. It is a 3-step process. Step 1, I shall apologize for my mistakes. Sorry, sorry. This is my pratikam. Step 2, I shall not repeat my mistakes. Never again. This is my pachkhan. Step 3, I should believe that my opponent has obliged me by cleaning me. So I shall say thank you in my heart. This will ensure that annoyance, irritation does not get triggered, and I do not get trapped in the vicious circle of anger and resentment as they lead to increased anger and resentment. Why do you want that? These 3 steps are a shield for my happiness and good spirits. Hence, they are a welcome move. They save me from negative thoughts and emotions and make space for positivity. Attitude changes through conviction and not by force, because dharma, and indeed all spiritual life, is the path of Sahaj Yoga and not Hatha Yoga. Sahaj Yoga is what happens spontaneously, what happens organically in your soul, at the emotional level, at the dispositional level. It cannot be forced. You cannot be pushed and bullied into dharma. Dharma takes place when there is no pralobhan and no bhaya, no greed and no fear. Dharma can never take place if it is impelled by greed or by fear or the desire to conform. Dharma is an intrinsic process. My goal is to use this body and mind to attain Samyak Darshan. Samyak Darshan, that is Nischay Samyak Darshan, self-realization. The truth lies within me. I do not have to go anywhere seeking it. I just need to look inwards because it is there, already residing within me. To attain Samyak Darshan, I'm always ready to accept and ready to change accordingly. Only one who has attained Samyak Darshan can guide others. Such a person never thrusts himself in the limelight. He never seeks fame and money. He remains in the background and helps true seekers on a one-on-one basis. He will never seek fame and money. If you say that my gurus go, flies in fancy aeroplanes and jet planes, and he hobnobs with the big and the mighty, perhaps he has not attained self-realization because the seeker shuns all this attention. The most beautiful example I can think of is Ramakrishna Paramhans. We all know that in the 1890s, Swami Vivekananda went from India to Chicago, along with Virchand Raghavji Gandhi. And they were amazing orators. They spoke beautifully and eloquently. The entire world was held aback by their wisdom, by their intelligence, and by their integrity. And everyone wanted to know where they learned it from. People asked Swami Vivekananda, who's your guru? Swami Vivekananda says, my guru is Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans. So the whole world wanted to meet Swami Ramakrishna Paramhans. When Sachin Tendulkar became a famous batsman, people wanted to know who was his guru, where he learned it from. And then he said, yes, I've learned under Acharikar. And so everyone wanted to know who's this Mr. Acharikar. Similarly, when Swami Vivekananda became world famous, people went to his guru, Ramakrishna Paramhans, because they wanted to know what it was that he taught them. So, that Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramhans were from Bengal. the local ruler of Bengal, when he heard that a local man had become world famous and had talked about India and Indianness and Hinduism and Vedanta at the international level, he was fascinated. And he went with his entire entourage of his chariot and his ministers and his bodyguards and his army. And he went to the ashram of Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And there he, placed himself, threw himself at the feet of Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Says, Swamiji, you have taught Vivekananda something. Please teach me the same thing. And Vivekananda and Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, why? O king, why do you need this? So then the king says, I want to be happy. And Swami Ramakrishna Paramahansa looks at the king resplendent in his gold and silver, his chariots and his soldiers, and he says, aren't you happy already? And the king, being an arrogant and proud man, like most rulers are, he says, yes, of course, I'm very happy. So then Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, so what do you want? You're already happy. Now what do you want? So the king says, well, you're right. But what can I do for you, O great sage, O venerable learned man? What can I do for you? And Ramakrishna Paramahansa says, nothing. It's winter. I was sunning myself in the warm winter sun. It's so cold, but the sun is giving me great comfort. Would you please move away because you're blocking the sunlight? That's the sign of a jnani, of a yogi, of a sadhak, of an upasak. He does not seek fame and money. That's not his path. He's given up on that. He's beyond fame and money and all of that. Let me give this couple of beautiful shades, and this is shloka that will illustrate very nicely what it means to be a guru. Nivartyatyan anjanam pramadataha swayam cha nishpapa pathe pravartate gunati tattvam hitam ichuranganam shivartinam yah sa guru nirgadyate. He who encourages others to give up indolence, pramad. He whose own conduct is without blemish. He who explains the supreme truth to the seeker of liberation is a guru. Reflection. For the innocent, it is hard to recognize a guru. For the worldly wise, it is difficult to trust a guru, right? We've seen the world, we know all of them. And for the deluded one, he cannot even understand the significance of a guru. Truly, finding a guru requires a great deal of luck. It is a serendipitous achievement, accomplishment. Who is a guru? A guru is one whose own conduct is spotless, blemishless. He encourages people to lead a life of righteousness, dharma, and he leads seekers to the path of moksha. He does all this in an attached manner, in a detached manner. He is not even remotely attached. He is completely detached. He seeks neither recognition nor rewards. How can a guru help? That's the question people have. Can a guru really help? Well, a guru lights the path and leads the way. His strength of character shall firm your resolve. His wisdom shall be your torch. His compassion shall encourage you to rise after every fall. His love shall heal your wounds. His forgiveness shall help you forgive yourself even if you fail. His blessings shall help you develop faith in yourself. He will help you realize that there is no injustice in this world. All that happens is for our own good. Je thai te sara mate, je thai te mara karme. We are here to help others. The winning formula given by the Tirthankars is conquer anger with love, arrogance with humility, quell deceit with simplicity and honesty, and defeat avarice with contentment. Here's another share that I would like to share with you. As you know, I love Urdu poetry and Sanskrit poetry and Prakrit poetry. I love languages, and there's such a lot of beauty and wonder in these beautiful languages. And just so much wisdom that they offer. It's just amazing. बाज औकात किसी और के मिलने से अदम अपनी हस्ती से मुलाकात भी हो जाती है. This is a share by Abdul Hamid Adam. What he's saying is that at times by meeting someone else, we get to see our own life. Sorrow. What is sorrow? Sorrow is a result of reality not matching our expectations. Bliss lies within us and emerges when we let go of expectation and greed. Many of us know this, but few are willing to take steps that would help us rise above the likes and dislikes, transcend expectations, and move into the realm of eternal bliss. The rest of us quell our internal awakening by indulging either in sensual delectation or in mindless rituals. We therefore seek solace in sensual pleasures or in ritualistic religious practices without understanding their inner meaning, without understanding their significance. We take the initiative and listen to our own voice when it comes to the pursuit of material happiness. But when it comes to spiritual happiness, we are happy to hide behind tradition or to ignore it completely. We are easily swayed by sham and pretense. We are attracted to glamour and to outward pomp and show. No wonder fraudulent godmen hoodwink us with monotonous ease. There's so many fraudulent godmen around. They're easy. It's so easy for them to hoodwink us. And they do it all the time. As thinking beings, it is imperative that we look beyond our constricted horizons and begin to seek the eternal. Having a guru makes the path easier. But we must beware of fake gurus and false prophets. Else, we would end up losing money and time to a huckster. While there is no tried and tested one-size-fits-all litmus test to ascertain a true guru, here are some pointers that could help you decide. 1. A guru does not seek fame and fortune. 2. A guru stays away from sensual gratification and avoids wealth and luxury. 3. A guru is not an attention seeker. He does not seek the company of the rich and the powerful. 4. A guru helps the seeker realize who he is and what he could do with his life. 5. A guru believes in transformation and healing through self-correction. 6. A guru refrains from pointing fingers at others. Instead, he emphasizes internal cleansing through honesty, kindness, and non-violence. Compassion is his byword. 7. He teaches by example. He follows his own teachings. He lives those teachings. If he doesn't live those teachings, then he's not a true guru. If you don't live those teachings, how can you tell them to others? Such a guru, only such a guru can guide others. No one else. I was fortunate to find such a guru in Jayesh Bhai. I hope that all of you find a true guru and continue progressing on the path of liberation. To make real progress in the spiritual path, I have to rise above worldly desires. You need not give up your home or your sansar or your family or your business or your wealth. Just rise above seeking them. Just rise above being owned by them. To give you an example, someone gives you your favorite food, you eat it. It's fine, perfectly okay. Someone gives you food that you don't like eating. You should be okay with that too. Someone doesn't give you any food. You should be okay with that too. Because it's karma. When your karmas are good, everything is in alignment, you'll get the most wonderful food served to you. When your karmas are not in alignment, you might get no food at all that day. And your test is that you remain the same. Whether you get the most tasty food or you get no food at all, you remain the same person. That's the key. Similarly, with any situation in life, whether you meet the Prime Minister of the country or you're forced to travel in Bombay's local trains, which are super crowded, or you travel by business class or first class, you're the same person. You should not feel affected by it. You should remain the same calm, detached, composed person. I have to change myself. Because right now we are not calm and detached and composed, are we? We're not. So then where does the change happen? You must be the change you wish to see in this world. So I have to change myself, which is easy. Change the direction of your thoughts, your actions will follow. We must not try to change others, which is not only difficult, but also causes anger, animosity, and anguish. You're constantly fighting to change another person over which you have no control. Why are you doing that? We see, even with our children, with our family members, they have their own thought process. They will do as per their thoughts. We can't compel them, right? So why are we even trying to do that? Why is that on our wish list? Why do we even expect others to do what we tell them to do? You have to change yourself. Change yourself, and you will see the world differently. The world is not going to change for you. The Tirthankars did not come here to change the world. They came here to change themselves, attain enlightenment, to attain omniscience, and leave this world. To reside in moksha, to reside in eternal bliss and moksha. This world can't be fixed. It's all a making of our own karmas. And if our own karmas were not perfect in the past, how can we, inherit a perfect world? We shall not. So fix what is wrong inside, not try to fix what is wrong outside. I gave you the example of a mirror. So when you look in a mirror and you see some blemish on your face, you clean your face, not the mirror. So this world is nothing but a reflection of our own thoughts, past thoughts, words, and deeds. You can't change the reflection. You got to change the real thing. So you change your own thoughts. When you see conflict and dishonesty and anger and wrong actions, do sorry in your mind for what you have done in the past. Resolve to never make that mistake again. Never again. And thank that person for reminding you of your own flaws. That's how you learn to gain from pain. You see bad things happen. It's happening because it's a reflection of your own past deeds. The entire world is like a mirror. Whatever is happening is happening because as a consequence of your own karmas. So say sorry for your own karmas if you see bad things happening. sorry, sorry, never again, thank you, welcome. That's how you rid yourself of your karma. That's the only way. Otherwise, we carry this baggage of karmas with us from one life to another life, from one birth to another birth. It's a vicious circle. It will never end. You will end up going to Nigod and rotting in the greatest, most painful kind of intense sorrow and agony and suffering. I have to remember this. There are only two permanent places in the universe: Nigod and Moksha. Moksha is where the Tirthankars have gone, where all the smart, wise people, the Gyanis have all gone to Moksha. But that's the only place where you find eternal, unending bliss, perfect bliss. There is no high and low. You are constantly at the highest possible level of bliss. And it's constant, not interrupted. The other option, of course, is our default setting, which is Nigod. Nigod is a world of sorrow, misery, horror, beatings, tortures. The most horrible possible life is Nigod. If you don't wish to rot in Nigod, you have to work towards moksha. People tell me, is dharma difficult? I said, well, if you look at what is waiting for you if you don't practice dharma, the consequences are so painful that dharma is the easiest, most logical, most sensible option. Moksha is where you find the highest level of happiness. You are in a state of constant joy. There's no rebirth. There's no body. There are no bodily aches and pains. Nothing. You're in a state of constant bliss. Absolute pure bliss. Nothing can change that level of bliss. And that's what you're looking for. And I think that's what all of us are looking for. Then you work towards it. Because nothing is constant. You're always moving, either up or moving down. So if you're not moving upward, trust me, you're sliding downward. Therefore, keep working on moksha, keep working on attaining self-realization. Because the only visa for moksha is Samyak Darshan. Now, if you keep asking yourself what option you would prefer out of moksha and Nigod, I think the answer for all of us will be moksha. So then you have to work for it. Because your default setting is Nigod. It's like, you catch a train from Churchgate going to Borivali. If you don't get off, it'll go to Borivali. But if you don't get off, it'll come back to Churchgate. So the default setting is Churchgate. Here, the default setting for all living beings is Nigod. You come from Nigod, you spend 2000 Sagarupam here on earth in life, either as a 1-sensed being, or a 2-sensed being, or a 3-sensed being, or a 4-sensed being, or a 5-sensed being, or a human being. And if you don't attain liberation in that time, you go back to Nigod. So be careful. Nigod is waiting. The other most horrible part is, we are here for 2000 Sagarupam. But we don't know when that will end. Maybe it's going to end today itself for me. Then I'll go back to Nigod. That is a sword that is constantly hanging on your head. The sword of Nigod, the sword of the end of the 2000 Sagarupam. Also, mind you, you may have 2000 Sagarupam left, but will you be reborn once again as a human being? Or maybe you'll just be another 1-sensed being, as grass or as water, or as a plant, as a tree. You live your life in agony. So you might spend 2,000 Sagarupams just living as a plant or a tree or a drop of water or the earth or a stone. Do you want that? If you don't want that, start walking on the path of Samyak Darshan and Moksha. There is no other way. There is no other path. And trust me, there is no one to fix things for you. There is no Godfather. You got to do it yourself. The path has been given by the Tirthankars. We have to walk on it ourselves. A guru will guide you. He will help you. But he cannot walk the path for you. So what should you do? You stop comparing yourself with others. I shall not compare myself with others. Instead, I have to compare my today with my yesterday and ensure daily improvement. I have to be better than I was yesterday. I can't compare myself with other people because it's fruitless. And it leads in envy, frustration, and disappointment. So compare yourself with your yesterday. Then you know that if you're a better person every day than you were in the past day, you're walking on the right paths. That's all you need to do. And that's all you can do. Keep walking on the right paths. This is the way to achieve daily progress. And when you're walking the right path every single day, you're a better person. You will learn your lesson. You'll become a better person. Just keep walking on the right path. Daily improvement. Become better each day. Many, many years ago, there used to be this beautiful book sold by some Gyan Bhandar in Dadar. It was called Atmano Hajari Patra, an attendance register for the soul. It was a blank book, just a register. And every day you had to write, okay, Monday, 24th of September, Monday, 25th of September, and hourly. How many times in each hour did I do anger? How many times in each hour did I do arrogance? How many times in each hour I did artifice, deception? How many times in each hour did I do malice? How many times in each hour did I do greed? In the end of the day, you find what you've been doing all day round. That's the way to learn. Next day you realize, I can't do this and find happiness in life, right? So you work with that. You work harder to find happiness by working on your inner self. And you do that through you using the universal law. When you start applying the thank you method, the thank you welcome method, sorry, never again, thank you welcome, you're shedding karmas, which bringing in happiness for yourself. They are a shield and protection for happiness. So check your own bucket list. I have to check my own bucket list. What are my desires? What do I seek? Honestly, what do I seek? I want more money, more cars, more wealth, a bigger house. If those are my desires, I have to ask myself, what will this lead to? I want more possessions. Won't they lead to more stress? I want people to obey me. Is that likely to happen? I want more wealth. Won't it lead to more stress? What is it that I want and what it will lead to? The consequences of your desires. Once you start thinking on the consequences of your desires, work on them with the 12 contemplations, with the Bara Bhavna. Again, as taught by the Tirthankars. Once you keep checking your likes and dislikes on the anvil of the Bara Bhavna, you will realize that worldly desires can never ever lead to happiness. Work on them with the 12 bhavnas. The 12 bhavnas, as we all know, as Jains, we all learn the 12 bhavnas. The Bara bhavna is what we have to keep contemplating on. So apply the 4 bhavnas to the world. Maitri, Pramod, Karuna, Madhyast, to the world. And to yourself, you apply the Bara bhavnas. That's the way to keep working on yourself, to keep working on your own desires. And when you keep working, when all of us keep working on ourselves with the Bara Bhavana, we can reach a stage of no complaint and no desire. That's the stage we want to be at. That is a launching pad for Samyak Darshan. So, the Bara Bhavanas will inculcate one most important quality in us, and that is Vairagya. Vairagya. Vairagya does not mean Vishesh Rag. It means the absence of Rag. Virag. Vairagya does not necessarily mean giving up sansar. It means rising above sansar. Vairagya is of 2 types. One is motivated by present sorrow. It's called Dukh Garbhit. Dukh Garbhit Vairagya. The other is motivated by realization. It's called Jnana Garbhit. So the Vairagya that Jnana Garbhit Vairagya. So the Vairagya that stems from a current personal crisis is called Dukh Garbhit Vairagya. The Vairagya that stems from realization is called Jnana Garbhit Vairagya. And guess what? Dukh Garbhit Vairagya does not last very long. It is short term. Because the moment that current personal crisis is resolved, you're back to your normal self. On the other hand, Gyan Garbhit Vairagya is what will take you on the path of liberation. Dukh Garbhit Vairagya is negative because it takes you constantly, it keeps hemming on sansar. Because what is your sorrow? It is connected with sansar. So, even when such a person who is doing things out of Dukh Garbhit Vairagya, even if he practices dharma, his aim is to resolve that particular current crisis of his. Therefore, he is going in Nidan. Secondly, all that he is seeking is rebirth to a better life or a better materially fulfilling life. And when you seek material wealth, you're bound to be reborn as a one-sense being. You will not attain Samyak Darshan. And when will you next come out of Ekendri and rise to be a human being? No one knows. So your quest should not be the quest for money and wealth and power. On the other hand, Jnana Garbhit Vairagya. This is what we need. This is also known as Nirved. Upsham Samveg Nirved. Jnana Garbhit Vairagya is Nirved. The entire focus of Jnana Garbhit Vairagya is to attain the soul. You can also call it Samveg if you like. Detachment from the world and a strong motivation to attain the self. Detachment from the non-self and the motivation to attain the self. Nirved and Samveg. So only Gyan Garbhit Vairagya is useful for moksha. No other kind of Vairagya. So all of us should focus on attaining Gyan Garbhita Vairagya. Acquire the knowledge, not just by reading, but by understanding, contemplating, and reflecting on it. Now, rag by itself is of two types, Prashasta rag and Aprashasta rag. Those who have attained Gyan Garbhit Vairagya are free from both types of rag, Prashasta and Aprashasta. Because rag will ultimately bind you. It's a binder, not a freer. So, one who has attained Gyan Garbhit Vairagya, he will be in this world, but he'll not be bound by it. He'll not be owned or possessed by the world. He will be free. As a human being, he will be free. And you know how to assess whether you are free or not? There's only one barometer. What do you like? Ask yourself what you like, and it will tell you where you stand spiritually. If you like pleasure, there's no Vairagya. If you like to enjoy the good things in life, there is no Vairagya. If you seek to wear the best clothes, wear the most expensive watches, go to the most expensive resorts, travel luxuriously, there is the Vairagya. When you seek luxury, when you seek the so-called good life, there's no Vairagya. I'm not saying you don't live that life. If it is your punya, you live that life. Bharat Chakravarti was the king. He was the greatest ruler. He was a Chakravarti. But he was a Samyak Drishti. He never sought that. He realized that that was part of his punya karma. It was a part of his life. He was never attached to it. He was never owned by it. He was just as comfortable walking on the street than he was traveling in the most fancy, royal, ornate, distinguished chariots. Don't be owned by that chariot. Don't, for instance, if you have a Mercedes Benz, don't be owned by the car. Don't let the car own you. You are different. You don't need that. When you keep respect, veneration, and admiration for sensual pleasures, you're booking your ticket towards Nibbodh. Because that leads you to only one place, Sansar. And where does Sansar lead you? To Nibbodh. So any kind of sensual pleasure which is strengthening your bond, your inner bond to your body, because you need your body to enjoy sensual pleasures, right? That sensual pleasure is your gateway to Nibbodh. So keep asking yourself, what do I like? When you see that, see what you like and where it takes you. Even a simple desire, like the desire for food. I often ask people this example of rasgulla or gulab jamun. Because you ask me what is my favorite sweet, I'll say it's a gulab jamun. That's my favorite sweet. And then you ask me how many I would like. I said I would like to eat one. But since I'm on a diet, I won't eat any. But if you force me, well, I'll have one. And if I'm feeling particularly self-indulgent, I'll have two, maybe three. I'll just resolve that, okay, I'll go to the gym and work out, but I may have 2 or 3 rasgullas or gulab jamuns. But if you say you love gulab jamuns, Manish, right? I'm going to ask you to eat 10. Then I'm going to say, so sorry, I can't eat 10. Even 5 is too many. Therefore, I give up. that the very thing that gives me happiness will start giving me irritation because I can't eat 10. I'll start puking. In this manner, analyze all that you like, and you will find that it will give you agony, pain, and rebirth in samsara. Therefore, we must consider what we need to do, how to change this mindset. I'll take it up tomorrow. It's time up today. So we'll take this tomorrow further. And I wish you lots of satha in the Paryushan. And I hope all of us in this Paryushan will gain spiritual benefit. I thank Jena and all of you who are kind enough to attend. I hope I have been able to give you some spiritual benefaction. Jai Jinendra.
Thank you, Manish Bhai, for your wonderful lecture. We'll continue the same by tomorrow. Still, we have 4 days. So definitely
Yes.
we'll get more knowledge from you. Thank you. Thank you very much for your.
Jai Jinendra.